think I got my swagger back.
The top is still running, and don't you forget it. I hate to have to use it, but the funky habit. Boys talk that shit like they never heard of murder.
This video was sponsored by MMOCS, by cheap NBA 2KMT at MMOCS.com. Use my promo code PACG and you can get a 5% discount. What's up, Pack Nation? It is Pack here. Today, I am talking about the final roster update of NBA 2K19. Yes, this is the 9th roster update, and usually during the middle or early part of March, that is the last roster update they ever do for NBA 2K19. That's usually how it goes. I might be wrong and they may make a 10th one, but this might probably be the last one of the year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about every single team's most important change in NBA 2K19. Before this video starts, be an OG, join the Pack Nation, and subscribe. I do want to mention one more thing, and that is kind of like a channel update. I'm entering spring break this week, and then after that I have 2 months of school left, and then I graduate and I will be doing YouTube full time. So I want to focus 100% on making sure I get all my school stuff done. So expect videos to be like twice a week, maybe more, maybe less, it might depend, but that's what you should kind of expect from here till about mid-May. Okay, so I just want to throw that out there and explain what this channel is at. Let's get this video started, always with the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, we're talking about JJ Redick, who goes -1 to a 79 overall. He was in the 80 overall club, and he absolutely deserved to be in the 80 overall club. Now, for the past couple games, he's been shooting inefficiently and not scoring as much as he usually does. That doesn't mean that he sucks. That doesn't mean he should be lowered from the 80 overall club. He is having the best season of his career scoring-wise and efficiency-wise, and yet they have him at a 79. He's always been a 79 throughout his career, and now you're going to have him at a 79 in his best moments of his career? That makes no sense at all. He's one of the best scorers on this team, with a team that's insane of Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, freaking Tobias Harris. Everyone's so good on this team, and he's one of the best scorers. So honestly, he should be at the 80 overall club, maybe even 81 overall. On the Bucks, for some reason, for being one of the best teams in the NBA, no change at all. So nothing on the Bucks. But for the Bulls, a lot of players changed. Let's start with Zach LaVine, from an 84 to an 86 +2 for Zach LaVine. This guy just had a game winner the other night. He's been scoring insane. So I mentioned Zach LaVine early in the season because he went up to like an 88 overall, I believe. That it was that high. And what I say is there's players that start the season off really, really good and then start to like slow down. You notice some players that are doing that, like Kemba Walker, guys that are doing like ridiculous numbers, Nikola Mirotic, and then they just start to slow down throughout the season. And Zach LaVine was being one of those players. I'm not saying he was starting to be bad, but he was starting to slow down just a little bit, and all of a sudden, boom, he's come back and playing really, really good. So that's why I believe Zach LaVine deserves that 2+ upgrade. Lauri Markkanen also gets an upgrade. He's definitely playing like a 20 points per game, 10 rebounds kind of guy. It's good. It surprises me that he came back from an injury and still played so well. The Bulls really have something really nice here, especially if they have a really nice draft pick this season. Oh man, the sky's the limit for this team. And Chris Dunn goes -1. To be fair, he was injured for a good part of this season, but -1 for him. I'm sure he'll bring it up. For the Cavaliers, no change at all. I mean, surprise, surprise. A lot of changes for the Celtics, a lot of downgrades. Let's start with Kyrie Irving from 93 to 92. Listen, Kyrie Irving is the best player on the Celtics. Kyrie Irving also looks like he's not going to be returning next season. They're straight up kicking this dude out of the door. They're making it seem like Kyrie Irving hates the Celtics and that they want him out, and then Celtics fans even kind of don't like him. So I don't know what's going to happen with Kyrie Irving, if he's going to stay or not. He's still playing high level. He's still posting the best numbers on this team, to be completely honest, but I don't know. They don't like him because they're not winning with him, I guess. Jason Tatum also goes -1. It was announced the other day, or if you noticed, he is the worst player in ISO basketball right now. He has the worst efficiency in the league when he goes ISO. Now that may change, but at the moment, that's what it is. Marcus Morris also goes -1. I disagree. He's having the best season of his entire career. Even if he's had a couple bad games, it doesn't matter. He should be in the 80 overall club for sure. Honestly, one of the best players on this team right now. When it comes to actually like doing his job, he's been doing great. Now, Gordon Hayward's interesting. They just gave him a -1 from an 80 to a 79. I disagree, actually. I think he should be an 80, maybe even bumped up now to an 81 overall. He just beat the Warriors, scoring 30 points, and then the game after that, he hits a game winner. Gordon Hayward's actually been playing very well these past couple games. Maybe he's finally coming out of that shell of being injured. If you look at his per 36, he's actually doing pretty okay considering how he usually does in his career. I know per 36 doesn't mean much, but it's looking like he's still Gordon Hayward. Maybe he's just not being used correctly, but I don't think he should be a 79. I think he should go up to an 81 overall. Now for the Clippers, I was going to disagree with this. Danilo Gallinari goes +1 with an 84 overall. The only reason I didn't agree with this is because they're saying that Danilo Gallinari is better than Lou Williams. However, Danilo Gallinari really has been playing very well for this Clippers team. They're still in the playoff run without Tobias Harris. That's really impressive, honestly. Now, Lou Williams, I believe, has been the better scorer, the better player on this team, but Danilo Gallinari has been scoring very, very well and taken a step up. He's stepped up with Tobias Harris leaving. Lou Williams is still being consistent. Montrez is still being consistent. Danilo stepped up his game when Tobias Harris was traded. That's important. I believe that's why they have him as an 84 overall, the best player on this team. Another player that's only gone up +1, but he has been playing so good for the Clippers, Landry Shamet, +1 for him. He could be even higher. He's been playing so good for the Clippers. I think like getting 20 points per game this past week. It's insane. So now we're on the Memphis Grizzlies, and this one's going to surprise a lot of people. Joakim Noah +3 from a 72 to a 75. Now you may be thinking, Joakim Noah's trash. Why are they even bothering with him? You know what's funny? I was looking at his stats. I was like, why did they give him a +3? It's kind of weird. Started looking at his stats, and you know what? They're not that different from what he's always put up in Chicago. And he's playing much less minutes than he was playing in Chicago. And you know how it is in Chicago. They play you like 40 when it was Tom Thibodeau as the head coach. They're playing him less minutes right now with the Grizzlies, and he's been doing more or less how Joakim Noah plays. If you look at his per 36, he's having his best season ever. I know per 36 doesn't mean exactly what it means, but he's doing good. He's doing a good job, and you know what? Maybe he should have had that 75. Maybe he deserves even more minutes with the Grizzlies. Now, to be fair, the Grizzlies aren't trying to win anymore, and their season's basically over, so maybe this is kind of like useless garbage time that he's doing. But Joakim Noah's been looking solid lately. With the Atlanta Hawks, it is Trae Young +3 up to an 82 overall, his highest rating so far in NBA 2K19. He has scored the most points in a single game by any rookie this season, I believe. Trae Young has actually been doing very good. Shooting a little better efficiently. He was doing pretty bad before, but he's getting better. Still averaging 8 assists a game with, when it comes to talent, maybe the worst team in the NBA. You could argue that, however, but to be able to have that many assists on this team and also be able to score that way, Trae Young absolutely deserves to be 82. I still believe John Collins is better than him at the moment, but Trae Young is good. So the Miami Heat have been winning games lately and making that playoff push, and one of the biggest reasons, surprisingly, is Kelly Olynyk. He's been getting a lot of points these past couple games and helping the team win games so that they can make the playoffs. Kelly Olynyk has been serious this past week. +2 for Kelly Olynyk from 77 to 79. He's even playing like an 80 overall, even though I think Josh Richardson is better than him. Kelly Olynyk really stepping it up right now for the Miami Heat. For the Hornets, there is one player that was updated, and that's Frank Kaminsky +1 because he had one good game. Sorry, Hornets fans. Now for the Utah Jazz, Derek Favors. Derek Favors changes from +1 to -1 every single roster update. You know, that's, to me, it's called being consistent. That means you're always like an 80.5 overall. He should be the only player in 2K that has a 0.5 in his rating, honestly. Ricky Rubio also goes -1, but I have a feeling that he's going to start stepping it up because this team has been winning games lately, and that's because Donovan Mitchell's been playing crazy. Honestly, they need to update Donovan Mitchell's rating. That's my opinion, but we'll see. Surprisingly, no Kings, even though they're still trying to fight to make the playoffs. It might not happen. It probably won't happen, but no updates for them. For the New York Knicks, Alonzo Trier +3. He had a very good start to the season. A big surprise in the draft. He's been pretty dang good. Plays great isolation basketball. He has a pretty good efficiency for most of his baskets coming from ISO. Like that's pretty crazy for him. If he shot more, he could be doing very well. This is about the time of year where the Knicks are like, all right, let's just let all the young people play as much as we can and let them like develop. So Alonzo Trier is obviously doing better right now because he's getting more minutes and more opportunities to score. Same thing goes with Mitchell Robinson, probably the biggest steal of the draft. This dude could average 5 to 6 blocks a game if he got starter minutes. Already one of the better defenders in the NBA and scoring extremely efficiency because all he does really is like dunk it really. So Mitchell Robinson +2 for him, and it might be even more in a year from now. For the Lakers, they dropped LeBron, man, 98 to 97. They like never touched LeBron. That's how bad the Lakers have been doing. LeBron just wasn't able to get them to the playoffs this year. I'm sure they'll get someone big in free agency next season, and then they'll start doing better. We'll see though, right? But yeah, LeBron wasn't able to get it done, and 2K was like, we're just gonna knock off a point for you. He was injured though, so obviously he's not gonna come back 100%, but still, -1 for him. And Brandon Ingram +1 because he was playing great when he came back. Again, it's not enough to get them into the playoffs. For the Magic, Terrence Ross -1 because reasons. That's been one of the more improved players of this year, but they dropped him. The Magics are still winning games. They're still trying to make the playoffs, so. And Terrence Ross has been helping, so I guess they dropped him, but I don't think they really should have dropped his rating. Now for the Dallas Mavericks. Interestingly enough, Dwight Powell right now has been playing like the second best player on this team. Easily. At the moment, at least. These past couple games, he's been doing very, very good for the Mavericks. Think about it. If Luka Doncic somehow improves even more next year, if Porzingis comes back as good as he was before, if Dwight Powell keeps playing the way he's been playing, if Tim Hardaway Jr. finds a way to be efficient, and then they find some point guard in free agency, or they draft some point guard, and the Mavericks will be filthy, absolutely filthy. Dwight Powell +2 because he's really been playing like that, and Tim Hardaway Jr. -1. Again, he's on a new team. He's not very efficient right now. Give him time. He needs to adjust to the team if he stays. For the Nets, Spencer Dinwiddie is back from injury. That's really it for the Nets, really. For the Nuggets, Jamal Murray +1. Easily, I believe, the second best player on this team. Gary Harris -1 because he's overrated. Please don't kill me. And a huge downgrade for Isaiah Thomas from an 80 to a 76 -4 for Isaiah Thomas. This dude was a 92 overall just 2 years ago. Isn't that insane? Like, that drop off is ridiculous. He just came back from injury. He's playing very inefficiently. I think if he starts getting in a groove, it might be a little better for Isaiah Thomas, and they're already a great team who have a great playoff position. He could really help this team in the playoffs, but we'll see how they manage Isaiah Thomas. For the Pacers, Bojan Bogdanovic been playing like the best player on this team, obviously because Victor Oladipo is injured, but the Pacers keep winning, and it was Domantas Sabonis who was leading them, but now it's been looking like Bogdanovic, especially scoring wise. It's been Bogdanovic. So he's been doing good, man. Drew Holiday +1 because the dude is good. Okay, he is. I mean, it doesn't matter. This team won't make the playoffs, but still, he's good. The Pistons, now this team has been winning games. They have like changed their team all of a sudden after the All-Star break. They really want to make the playoffs, and it looks like they're going to for sure. And one major reason is, for some reason, Luke Kennard is playing so good right now. That is the face of a killer. Look at that. Luke Kennard is playing serious right now. +3 for Luke Kennard. I would have never guessed this was going to happen, but he's doing it, and he's doing a pretty good job. For the Raptors, Kyle Lowry -1 because he has one bad game. Okay, no. Stop touching Kyle Lowry. They keep messing with his rating when he's one of the best playmakers in the NBA, a good defensive point guard, a great scorer, and they keep dropping his rating. You really thinking Marc Gasol is as good as Kyle Lowry right now? You're crazy if you think that. Pascal Siakam is not clearly better than Kyle Lowry. At least they should be even, in my opinion. You're just trying to say that Kyle Lowry is the third best player on this team, and I don't agree with that, 2K. Now, James Harden goes -1 because he's slightly dropped off from... I'm sorry, he's not getting 40 points per game anymore. He's still doing good. They really shouldn't need to touch his rating. Chris Paul and Clint Capella both come back, and they're doing great, especially Chris Paul. Both go +1, and man, who would have thought they needed them that much? They turned into a good team to a great team, just like that when they came back. It's crazy. DeMar DeRozan goes +1, so now he and LaMarcus Aldridge are at an equal rating. I still believe personally LaMarcus Aldridge is the better player at the current moment. DeMar is actually still getting like 20-something points per game. Best efficiency he's ever had in his career besides his rookie season. But I still feel like LaMarcus is better. I don't know what it is that makes me feel that, but that's how it seems every time I watch these games. I see LaMarcus doing a better job. But that's just me. Another player to talk about is Derek White +3. Another player that's had a tremendous upgrade. I think like +10 upgrade this season. Derek White has been doing so good. He's the only Spurs player besides David Robinson and Tim Duncan in history to have a 15-point game with 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 blocks. And he's a guard. Derek White is literally doing everything correct in basketball. I will say this confidently, he is the most complete player on the Spurs at this very moment, and he's only 23 years old. That's a big deal for Derek White. And they win so many more games when he's playing than when he's not. That's pretty cool. Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and Kelly Oubre all go +1, and it's simple. If you beat some of the best teams in the NBA, you're gonna have that happen to you. So, good job for them. No change for the Oklahoma City Thunder for some reason, but that's fine. No change for them. Karl-Anthony Towns goes +1, but it doesn't matter because they're not good enough to make the playoffs, and he's doing a good job. He really is putting up good stats right now, but they're not doing enough to make the playoffs. Nothing for the Blazers either, which is weird. For the Warriors, DeMarcus Cousins goes -2, so now clear as day, the 4th best player on this team. There's so much talent on this team, he's not going to get as many buckets and stats as he usually does. Draymond Green also goes -1 to an 83. I'm surprised he's dropping so much, but he is. Finally, for the Wizards, Bradley Beal goes +1 because he's been doing so good. He's been having himself an amazing season. It's a shame that John Wall hasn't been healthy, and when he wasn't great. That's a shame. So, but I like that they got Bobby Portis and Jabari Parker, who are both young and good. They have talent, and Thomas Bryant. They really do have something here with the Wizards they can work with for the next couple years. But that is it for this video, you guys. Do you agree or disagree with 2K? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like my channel, give it a sub. And I'll see you guys next time.
I think I got my swagger back.
The top is still running, and don't you forget it.